Hi everyone, welcome back to Violin Inspiration. It's Julia here today with a tutorial of Rush E. I hope you will love to play this song. First of all, I will play it for you in fast speed so you can see what it sounds like in the end. After that, I will give you some playing tips and then we go ahead and practice it slowly. First, I will show it to you in slow speed and you can practice it in slow speed, and then we go faster and faster in the tutorials. You can use the markings, the time markings below to skip to the part of the tutorial that you want to practice with. So first of all, let's have a look at the quick version. Okay, so this is what the song will sound like in the end. So how do we go about playing it? Well, first of all, we should of course practice it very slowly. That is what the slow play-alongs are for. But I also want to give you some additional tips when practicing this so that it will sound even better. So first of all, let's have a look at the first line. When we are practicing the first line, in that line we are shifting from our first finger to our second finger. First we play 8 notes with our first finger, then 8 notes with our second finger on the same note, both on the E. So we both basically just shift our second finger down. Because then this part will become so much easier. If you would play everything with the first finger, then we would have to shift that first finger back. Let's look at this again from a close-up position. So first we are playing on the first finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we skip to our second finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we get to the second bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we are playing 2, 3, 2, 1. And as you see, all those fingers are right next to each other. So we place our second finger on the spot where we would usually play our first finger. That first fingerboard sticker over here, you can see that as well, that's the E. Then we place our third finger where we would usually play our low second finger. And then our second again. And then first finger, we place it right below that second finger, so that's a low first finger. And then a second finger again. And after that we are playing up bow A. And now we shift back into the regular first position and we play the C with our second finger. So a low second finger on the A string. All in total it would sound like this. Another thing you might notice in that first line is that we are playing 2 up bows in the last 2 notes. So we are playing. You might be wondering, like, that feels pretty difficult, and you don't necessarily have to use 2 up bows here, but I recommend it because later in the piece we are using 2 up bows, and this is to make it much easier to play it quickly. Because if you're playing quickly, it is much easier to have control if you play 2 up bows. If you play up, down, and then you have to play the next note with the down bow again, it is sometimes very hard to do that quickly. So that's why we are playing up, up. And then after that we continue again. Another thing that you might notice when you're playing with the play-alongs is that it gradually speeds up. And that is also what that marking in the sheet music means. It says poco a poco accelerando, which means bit by bit faster. So it goes faster and faster bit by bit. So make sure that you slowly speed up the piece, no matter if you're playing it with a play-along or by yourself. Another thing that you might notice when you're practicing this piece is on the fourth line we have that a lot of string changes. So we are going all the way from A to G, and that makes it a lot harder to play that well. So what I recommend to do is to make your bow strokes very, very short. Because if we use larger bow strokes, it's much harder to play that quickly and you make much bigger motions with your arm. So try to use very, very short strokes, especially the faster you play, the shorter your strokes become. Another thing that you should take into account when practicing this piece is the accidentals. So in this piece we have the sharp sign and we have the natural sign. And the sharp sign means that we have to play a note half a tone higher, and the natural sign is please go back to the normal position of that note. So we see that a lot on third fingers in the piece. On a natural sign, you are playing a regular third finger. So for instance, a C or a D. And when we see a sharp sign in front of the third finger, then we have to play a high third finger. So for instance, a C sharp, like over here. The last thing that I would like to mention is the B section of this piece. In this piece, the B section creates a little bit of a different feel, and I think it's a really nice contrast to the quick notes of the sections that came before and after. And if you are over here, it helps to, or it makes it more fun if you really make sure to play the notes as they are written down. So you see the dots above the notes, and you also see the tenuto sign above the notes. And the dots means play this note very shortly. And the tenuto sign, so the dash, means that you have to play that note long, so for the full length of that note. So what it means is that, for instance, over here, short, 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 short bow strokes. You play that all shortly, and then over here you play this. And then you suddenly use more bow, and you don't cut off the notes like you did before. So try to make that difference over there, especially if you've been playing the violin for a while. That can really add a nice musical effect to this song. So I really hope you will enjoy practicing this song. After this we get started with the play-alongs. Make sure to start with a slow play-along and try to practice until you can play with it, and then you can go ahead and practice with a bit faster play-along and so on until you manage to play this at the fastest speed. I really hope that this goes well for you. Good luck! I hope you've reached this point in the video, the end of the video, because you've just managed to play the fast play along. And if so, congratulations. If you would like to receive more tutorials like this, make sure to subscribe to this channel and click the bell notification button. I would be so glad with your support. And I will be uploading weekly YouTube videos with new violin tutorials. Also, you could consider becoming a member of my online violin school for beginners. So my online violin school for adult beginners really takes you by the hand, learns you how to play the violin step by step from the very start, like from the start of like how to hold the instrument. So if you are interested in learning how to play the violin with me with a step-by-step curriculum and program and getting support from real teachers, have a look at my program. You can find it below. Enjoy practicing, and I hope to see you next week for my next tutorial. Bye bye!